Hello and welcome everyone, we're happy that we're all together again. In this tutorial we will continue exploring the options and the properties that we can use during our HVAC design and the Revit software. Here as you see, those are some mechanical options that we can use. For example, we can draw a duct, or we can select an air terminal or a mechanical equipment, for example. But for those elements there are some general settings that we need to set or we need to fix. But to access those settings we easily press on that tab here, which is the mechanical setting. Here we press on it, and you see the first option is related to the hidden lines, which means for example, if we put a duct to be overlapped with another duct, the hidden parts of the lower duct will be shown if we select that option, or it may be hidden if we didn't select that option. So if we select it to be hidden and we press on OK, and then suppose we draw two ducts, so we draw a duct here by that way, and then we draw another duct. So you see those two ducts intersect with each other, but we need one of them to be overlapped on the other, and for that we will change the offset of one of them. So if I select that one and I change its offset, for example, to decrease it to be, for example, 2600 millimeter. And that's it. Now you see this is the upper duct and its lines of the intersection part is hidden, and this is the down duct and it hides the parts of the upper duct. So we can express it in the 3D form to imagine it well. Here I select this and press on the selection box, and then we can go down to see them well. So you can see we have, this is the over duct and this is the down duct. But as we made the setting to hide the lines, so the over duct lines at this intersection area are hide. But on the other hand, if we change it, that option again, so if we made it to draw the hidden lines and press OK, and that's it. Here you can see there are some dashed lines of the over duct, and that's because we have made the hidden lines to appear. Now let's go again. Also, we can change the length of the inside gap line and the outside gap line and the single line. So those are some options related to the style of the hidden parts lines that we may show or we may hide. Now the second group of setting is related to the duct we have. So for the duct we need to specify some settings like the angle by which we can draw the duct. So if we go to that angle, here we can select it to be any. Here that means for the angle at that condition we will be able to draw any angle we need during the design. So we have the flexibility to draw the duct with any angle or to go through any direction to draw the duct. While if we select it to be an incremental angle, at that condition the angle we draw will be changed by the resolution of the increment or the decrement. So if we select the increment option, for example, to be 20 degree, this means we are able only to draw the curved ducts on an angle of 20, 40, 60 and so on. So let's try that by pressing OK and then draw a duct. And let's make its width to be, for example, 100. And then we draw it at this position, for example. And now if we try to draw another duct, so if I try to draw it with an angle of 90 degree, for example, the duct cannot be drawn with an angle of 90 degree. This is because we have set the incremental angle to be 20 degree, so it have drawn with an angle of 100 degree. This is because it's the nearest angle to the 90 degree, so it will be from 80 to 100, then from 100 to 120, but we have no option to be with 90 degree, as the 90 degree is between the 80 and the 100. So that's for the incremental angle. And also we can see the third option we have is to set it to be with a specific angle, and by that option we specify some standard angles that we will work on. And we cannot draw a duct with an angle that doesn't exist in those standards. So that's about the options of the angle fitting. But in general, in the standard working, we specify it to be any angle, as all of the installation structures of the ducts can be constructed easily by the technicians in the site of construction. This is for the ducts. While on the other hand, if we go to the pipe setting, at this condition we should use some specific angles to work on them, not any angle. And this is because the pipes are manufactured with some standard angles that have some limitations. So we must specify the pipe angle exactly as we will use in the real site according to the pipes that we have. So we specify here those standard angles of the pipes. And after that, for the ducts, we have the conversion branch here. And at that conversion module, we need to specify the initial duct type. So if we draw a duct, you see it's drawn automatically with the rectangular shape, but we can change this initial type to P, the oval, for example. So if I select that one, I can change it to P, the round type, or I can select it again to P for the oval type, for example, and so on. So this is the initial type of the duct that we will draw initially in our design. And then we have also the standard offset that we draw the duct according to it. So it's a standard value as 2750, but we can change it also for any value that we need. This is according to the case that we need, as we need a precise offset with respect to the suspended ceiling or with respect to the other components we have. And also we do the same thing for the branch duct. So those options for the main duct and those options for the branched duct that we extend from the main duct. Also it asks us for the flexible duct type, as the flexible duct type is a branched one. So we can select it to P, for example, the round one, or we can select it to P none, and so on. And then it asks us for the maximum length of the flexible duct that we can use in our project. Very good. So that's about the conversion module. And after that, we move to the rectangular duct type. And here we have some standard widths of the rectangular shaped duct that we can use by default. So those are some standard sizes. But if we need to add another specific size that is not available in those sizes, we easily press on that new size tab. And then it asks us for the size that we need to enter. So we may enter a size, for example, of 80 millimeter. And then press OK, and you see the 80 millimeter size has appeared here, so we can select it. Also, we can do the inverse to delete a size. So if I select the 100, for example, I can delete it easily. Here it tells us that the 100 millimeter duct size is exactly used in our project. So if we removed it, it will be removed from our project. I'll press on yes. This is only for an example. But you may notice here we have two columns for each size. The first one is used in the sized list, and by checking that option, this specific size will be included in the sizing list, and if we deselect it, it will not be included in the sizing list. So if I try to deselect this one, for example 90 and 110, so if I deselect it, they will be disappear, and I press on OK. So if I press on duct and then we drag down the width list, you will see the 90 millimeter width disappear, and also the 110 disappear. This is because we have deselected them. Now let's go back. Here we can select them again. So that's about this column, which is to use those sizes in the list. But on the other hand, the second column here, which is used in sizing, this column will include the checked sizes here in the automatic sizing process. As in some cases, the duct sizing are specified automatically, so the program will select from those sizes here that we have checked in case of any size is selected automatically. But if we deselect any of them also, they will be excluded from the automatic selecting operation of the duct sizes. So that's for the rectangle type, and so on for the rest of the types. We have the oval and the round and so on. And finally, we have the calculations. So the program tells us about the calculation method that it makes the duct sizing according to it. Very good. So that's about the important mechanical settings. Hope that's clear right now. Thank you for watching and see you next tutorials.